Hey everyone, welcome back to Off the Court. Thank you for joining us again. Today we have the next Canadian in the line. We've had a Canadian at NC State for 8 years. It's about to go into 12 because our next guest is a member of Team Canada. She was BioSteel All-Canadian and she was the PhilCan National Select Player of the Year. So welcome to Off the Court, Rebecca Demeke. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You're in Raleigh now, right?
Thank God.
Talk to us a little bit about that unknown of whether or not you're actually going to be making it to campus crossing the border. I know you messaged me and we're trying to figure out how to do it. So
Yeah.
How did that process actually end up going?
So I have a friend that goes to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Canada too. So she got there 2 weeks before I came here. And I was like, how'd you get here? And basically she got the team to write a letter to say that, I have to be here for practices and stuff. So I told Coach Moore and he wrote up a letter for me and got it approved and everything. And then I flew here. So it was pretty good. They didn't even ask for the letter. They just asked for my I-20 and it was fine. So yeah.
That's good. I know you were worried about that, but I'm glad it worked out so easily.
Yeah, Coach Moore was making jokes about getting me through the border in a trunk or something. So I was worried for sure.
Yeah, but now you were there. Did you have to quarantine when you got to state?
Yeah, it's not as strict. It's more of a self-quarantine. So I can stay around the dorms and stuff. I just can't go into facilities and train. So that's a hard thing for me because now I'm oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me when I get back. But yeah.
So on the track back, do you get tested before you're allowed to train again after quarantine, or is it kind of just you didn't show symptoms and now we're going to let you practice?
So basically, I finished my 2-week quarantine and then they tested me on Monday. So I'm just waiting for those results. So as soon as those results come in, then I should be able to take my physical and then be cleared. So.
Oh, and then you jump right into it.
Thank God, because I'm all anxious and stuff. I forgot what a ball feels like. I miss it.
Well, I think the summer workouts are always so much fun because you get to be with the team, but they're also definitely killer. Nate is going to get you ready. So the sooner you can get into it, the better, for sure.
Yeah, I know the first few weeks are going to be really hard, especially because COVID and everything. It was hard to train even in Canada. My brother and I would just go to playgrounds and stuff or just outdoor courts and try to train there. But yeah, I'm excited to get back in facility and get back into shape.
This is your introduction to the fam and all the fans. So this is your chance to kind of give your intro. Let's start with where you are from in Canada so that we know a little bit more about where you came from.
Well, I'm from Toronto, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about Toronto and Canada. Yeah, so I love Toronto so much. I'd say I compare it to New York, I guess. It's a lot like that but smaller. But yeah.
I know. I feel everybody either knows Vancouver or Toronto, but nothing, or maybe Quebec, depending on where they're from. But everywhere else, they have no idea.
Yeah, and people who don't even live in Toronto, they live around it, would just be oh, I'm from Toronto.
But you're actually from the city.
Yeah, I am.
Nice. That makes it real simple when people ask you because every time they're oh, so you're from Toronto to me, and I was no, not even close.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people think that Canadians can all speak French too. So they'd be oh, you speak French? And I'm just no.
Well, that might be a little bit because of at NC State, me and Jen both spoke French, so they might just expect you to be able to. I guess you got to start learning.
They tried to make me speak French, but I was horrible at it. So I was cause at home, I'm half Filipino and half Ethiopian. So my mom would be speaking me in Tagalog, and then my dad would be speaking me in Amharic, and I'm just French, Amharic, Tagalog, I can't do that.
So how many languages do you actually speak?
Well, I can't fluently, don't think that I can fluently speak, but all of them I can. I know one word in Tagalog, and then in Amharic, my dad speaks to me in it, so I can understand him, but I can't really talk back, so.
We did this with the other Welcome to Campus editions. Describe yourself in 3 words. You can do on the court, you can do as a person, whichever is more comfortable for you, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
As a person, I'll probably say outgoing, goofy, and probably determined.
Okay. Those are good ones. It's all 3 of the freshmen have said, 4, I guess, have said goofy in it. So you guys are going to be a handful.
Yeah. Well, like we've had our fun. Like we're all like talkative and we all like goof around and stuff. So I'm glad though because I like being around people who are like that.
Yeah.
So like it's good.
Oh goodness, the coaches are going to have a good time with that for sure. But okay, so your high school basketball is a little bit different. You went to Crestwood Prep. Can you explain the differences a little bit from the traditional high school basketball?
So Crestwood Prep's actually a private school. So
Okay.
like when I heard about it, I was like, I'd love to go there because they give us scholarships. So like basically everyone on the team is on a scholarship. And like private school education is actually really good. Like some of the teachers had PhDs. Like it was really like they were always there for us. We're basically sort of like a basketball school. We have hockey teams too.
Mm-hmm.
But teachers were always supportive. It was great. And then the school would support the basketball program a lot too. Like they'd pay for our trips. Sometimes they'll pay for our transportation. Like it was really good. And like the experience I had with the girls was actually amazing. Like they're family to me now. Like I love all of them. And like going like undefeated a year and like winning back to back, like that was just an amazing experience that not everyone can go through. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was a super dominant team. I think you also played with Letitia, I'm here, right, who's at South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, that team was loaded with talent.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the questions we did receive was, why did you choose to go to such a talented team where, maybe you weren't always the number one scorer, you weren't the go-to person, instead of being in a high school where you could have just scored every single point? What was the decision process to decide to go to Crestwood?
Well, for me, I see myself as more of like a role player. So like I don't mind not scoring or like you know what I mean. Like I want to win. So like at the end of the day, like all of my like the whole starting 5 are scorers, especially like our 2 bigs and our guard Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was good with being like the shooter and getting it into them, and like I don't know. I like being a role player, and I think that we could have made history with that team. Like you know what I mean. Like I heard who's going there, and I'm like this team's gonna be stacked. Like we're gonna be great. Like you know what I mean. Like I personally knew that I might not have been I wouldn't have been able to like go crazy on scoring and stuff, but like I was completely fine with that because I knew like when I got to college it might be like that. Like I might have a certain role that I have to play and then I'd have to like feed off that. So like I thought that going on a team like that would help me like prepare for like college and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say you were a role player, but you got all of these accolades, I mean, you Biosteel All-Canadian game. Talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, when I was in Canada, the year after I graduated was the year that started up. So, I was always so salty that I never got to do that. But how was that? You did the shooting competition, the 3-point shooting competition. Just talk to us a little bit about how that goes, because I know about the Jordan game and the McDonald's All-American, but this is kind of our Canadian game. Yeah. So how did that go?
So I think they started it up because like Canadians are starting to like get up in basketball. So like it was actually a crazy experience because you're playing with like everyone, like the best players in Canada. So like I was so mad when I couldn't do it this year because I was like, I'm gonna get like this 3-point contest, like I was just ready, but then obviously we couldn't because of COVID. Mm-hmm. But the experience was like nothing like I've ever experienced before. Like it was like being around a bunch of friends and like competing, but like for fun. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they treated us really well. Like we got a bunch of gear. We were on TSN. We got interviews. Like it was really fun. And like even the game, like I was a bit nervous about it because like TSN is on TV. Like like obviously anyone would get nervous about that, but once you start playing, it's super fun and chill, and everyone's just trying to have fun.
Well, you're gonna be on TV a lot at NC State, so hopefully you're used to it now.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was last year. It's okay. This year I'm good.
Good. Well, and then Team Canada, you're a little bit after my time. I mean, I have been with the senior team for a while now, but when did you play with Team Canada and what tournament? Like, how did that process go for you? Because everybody's journey is a little bit different.
Yeah, I played for Team Canada like 2 years ago, maybe, like a while ago. But like back then, I feel like I'm definitely not the same player I was back then than I am now. I feel like now I'm more like confident and more like involved than I was then. I think I was super like back then I was like scared of the older girls. So like I'd be like, like super timid and just like I'll just shoot whenever I'm like, like they emphasize like my shooting. So I thought that that's all I had to do to play. But like that was a really good experience for me only because like I realized that I'm not just a shooter and that's not what I should rely on. So like after that whole experience, like it was good going to Europe, seeing other great players across the world and seeing where I fit. And then going from there, so like once I got to Crestwood, the Coach Marlowe, he helped me a lot with helping me realize that I'm not just a shooter and I can do other stuff to help impact the game. So yeah, definitely a great experience.
Well, that's really good. Is continuing with Team Canada something you want to do in the future? Like, would you like to, be on the senior team, go to the Olympics?
Yeah, for sure. That's like, I feel like that's anyone's dream to be on the national team and like go to the Olympics. Like I was supposed to play this year with them, but because of everything going on, we couldn't. But yeah, I definitely want to.
Well, hopefully you and I actually get to play together on the team. That would be awesome. We'd be 3-point shooting, unguardable duo right there.
Yeah.
But before we move on to kind of the recruiting process, what was your best memory from high school in Crestwood? Like, what stands out as like that pivotal moment that you're just like, that is my best moment in high school?
I'd say winning the championship the first year. Like that was crazy. Like we were down 20. Like really? It was like because like that year we were beating teams by like 20. Like we were blowing out teams in Canada and we didn't lose. So once we got to the finals, we were like, okay, like we got this. Like we have to like go crazy. But we always have like a slow start in the beginning. But the other team, they had the player of the year, Micah Dennis. And like she was playing a great game. Like she was doing really well. And then we're just like freaking out because we're like, we've never been down like 20 in Canada before. Like what's going on? And then in the locker room, our coach gave us this huge pep talk, and everyone's like, okay, like we're gonna get this. Like we're not losing. He's like, there's no like, all those wins mean nothing if we lose now. You know what I mean? So like, I think that was the best moment where everyone's just like, hey, we have to get together. We have to win this game. And then it was tough. It was really tough. Like we weren't expecting it. I think that's why it was like my favorite memory because we weren't expecting it at all. Yeah. And then we ended up winning by 1. So like, and it was a free throw shot by Aaliyah. So she didn't make that. Yeah, it was crazy. Like everyone was on the edge of their seats. Like I was on the court like stressed because like our ball handler got fouled out and we're just like, oh my God. But then Aaliyah made her free throw and then we won, so it was crazy for sure.
That's amazing. Like that for sure would be one of my top ones. Like I remember like all of my championship games and game winners and stuff, and winning on a free throw is the most nerve-wracking thing ever, especially if you're the free throw shooter. Good on Aaliyah for
Aaliyah always steps up. She always steps up.
I mean, I guess that's why she's going to UConn.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, after high school, you're looking to go to college. Talk to us a little bit about the recruiting process. Who recruited you, first of all, other than NC State? Who was kind of your top 3?
Top 3, I'd probably say Cal, Memphis, and NC State.
Okay, so just a little bit all over the place.
Oh, did you have,
did you want to like stay on the East Coast, or were you kind of just open to anywhere that you thought would be a good fit?
I was open to anywhere. Like I'm more of a like person type of, I don't know how to explain it. Like I want like good vibes. If that makes sense. Like, because I'm gonna be here for 4 years with no one that I know. So like I was more like I wanna like have coaches that I trust and like know that will take care of me if need be, and just like have good teammates I could be around and like, you know, have good times with.
So that's obviously why you chose NC State.
Yeah.
But you know, I was there for your visit. Do you like take us through your visit a little bit? What was it like, especially coming from Canada? Like, we don't really have that experience growing up. That's not something people expect. It's definitely a different culture. So how was your visit, your official visit to NC State?
Well, I was coming off a concussion, so like I remember going there and I was just like, oh my gosh, because you know how visits are, like it's super busy. They try to show you everything like really fast, and like you're just like everywhere all the time. So I remember being like, I don't want to be like quiet and stuff because I want to like talk to you guys. But at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, man. But like it was really good. Like I remember coming to the gym like, wow, we had this whole thing to ourselves. Like this is great. And then meeting Nate and everything. I actually really liked Nate and what he was doing with the program. So I remember that he's a strength and conditioning coach, right?
Yeah.
And then campus is just beautiful. Like it's all close together and it's just amazing. So yeah.
It is. And correct me if I'm wrong, you committed that morning before you left, right?
Yeah. I basically signed too. Yeah, like he gave me the papers. He's like, here you go, and I'm like, I got you, coach, and I signed. So
that's awesome. Was that like nerve-wracking, or was it just like you got here and you knew?
I kind of knew even before I got here. Like I was just like, I just love everyone. Like I'm just gonna I know I'm gonna commit here.
I think we were like hanging out as like a group, and you're like, I'm just gonna commit in the morning, and we were all like, we did our job. We're the best.
Yeah, I remember that. And then I remember being with like Jada Rice, and she was like, Becca, like, can I like announce this in front of everyone? And I'm just like, are you sure? But like, yeah, it was. Yeah, I knew. So I was just like, let me just tell the girls and like see how it goes. But yeah.
I mean, and we were so excited. We were like, this is our first commitment on a visit. We're like, we're the best. Like, because Coach Moore is always like, well, you guys need to do a better job.
Yeah.
But Coach Moore excused my impersonation. It was terrible, but
no, it was perfect.
He says to us all the time, you're going to get that for the next 4 years.
No, it's so hard for me to understand him though. Was it hard for you?
It was actually more difficult for him to understand me, because we use like the Canadian version of words, and he'd be like, what are you saying? What does that mean? And I'm just like, Coach Moore.
Yeah, no, actually that's happened to me. Like when I'm talking to my roommates, I'd say something, they'd be like, what?
Yeah,
like,
get used to
I find it hard to like understand Coach Moore, or like even Genesis. Sometimes I don't understand Genesis. I'm like, what? But like, yeah, like
you'll get used to it quickly because everybody has a little bit of a twang. So
but I feel bad because like I'd be in front of like Coach Moore and he'd be saying something and I'd like turn to somebody like, what did he say? Even though he's right in front of me, but like I don't know what to do.
Well, you'll be amazed because you'll spend all of your friends you'll start picking up on their like things. So I came home and everybody goes, you have a Southern accent. I was like, no, I don't. There's no way. And then I pick up like on small things that like so like an element on a stove, like they call an eye, and I keep saying that at home, and my parents are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I can't remember that it's called an element in the moment. So like it's gonna happen. You're gonna be all jumbled up in the head a little bit.
Well, honestly, when I met you on my visit, I thought you had a Southern accent too.
Oh my goodness.
I really did. I was like, wait, is she actually from Canada?
Oh God. Oh.
It wasn't that bad though. Like I just caught it a bit. I'm like, so I'm probably gonna sound like that after like a few years.
Probably. I mean, it's hard to avoid. You're just around it all the time.
Yeah, like I never thought I'd like say y'all. Like I'll say that in like text messages, but like now that I'm here, I already started saying y'all a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time. I say it all the time, and my friends back here in Seattle are like, "Can you stop?" Like.
Yeah, like
Guys.
in Canada we say like you guys, like we don't
Yeah.
say y'all. So like when I said you guys here, they're like, why do you say that? And I'm just like, what do you mean? But yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to that. But freshman year is coming up quick. I mean, we're about to be in August. So, what are some of your goals for freshman years? Do you have like goals, expectations, worries? Like, what is kind of your feeling for freshman year?
I'd say like I'm more like anxious in terms of like how I feel, only because like I don't know what like practices are like or like strength conditioning or anything. So like I feel like I'm more like this anxious about it just because I want to know.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the season, I think I just want to like be able to play my role well. So like I'm not expecting to like I'm not gonna go into a game being like, okay, like I have to have a certain amount of minutes, like you know what I mean? Like I want it to be where like if I'm on the court, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm playing my role, and then hopefully that gets me playing time through that. But I just want to make sure like I put in like my effort, and whenever he puts me on, I make sure to do what I'm supposed to do. So
I mean, if you do that, Coach Moore will definitely reward you. He is one of those coaches who, if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be on the floor. So I think that's a good stance to take going into that, because it's going to set you up really well for a lot of success along the line. And then what do you think you bring to the team? Like if you said you want to fill a role, like you are comfortable filling a role, you're comfortable being the scorer. What do you think you personally bring to the team that you can control all the time?
Oh, I think just being a good teammate. Like if it's something I can control, I think it's definitely being a good teammate. Like I'd say in Crestwood, I'm like one of the hype mans. So like if someone does something crazy, I'm gonna be there like, good job, like just like hype them up and stuff. So like I think that just making sure I like put energy into everything, and like if I'm open for shots and like make my shots, and I think that's a big thing, finding the hot hand. So like if I'm not making shots, finding someone who is, and just stuff like that. Like I know I can control being a good teammate, so I think that's something for sure.
Well, everybody needs a hype man, so you're going to fill that role real quick, and maybe you can fight Jada Rice for the handshake role.
Yeah, we'll see.
We have a question from Maria Santor. She wants to know, do you prefer offense or defense?
Definitely offense. If you know my coach, he gets so mad at me for defense because I'm lazy. I know it's bad to say, but I'm trying to work on that. Sometimes I get lazy and I, slack off on defense and go crazy on offense or put more effort into offense, but definitely offense.
That's something you're going to have to work on with Coach Moore, because
don't tell him I said that.
He loves defense. Yeah, Coach Moore, don't watch this.
That's a habit that's in the past.
Yes. Moving on. We're getting better every day.
Yeah.
But obviously we have to talk a little bit about school. What are you studying?
I'm going into exploratory studies. So like teachers in high school have always been like, Becca, like choose your major off subjects. And I'm just like, one year I'll love English because I love the teacher and how she teaches it, and the next year I'll hate it. So like I like it was really hard for me to figure out what I'd like. So I think right now is just going into exploratory studies. I just want to like open my scope and like see what I like and like explore different things.
Yeah, I mean, NC State has a wonderful exploratory studies. I think they win awards for it and stuff. Do you have anywhere that you kind of are leaning towards, or is it just like an open book, like you're ready to experience it all?
It's just an open book, like because of the fact that I liked a subject and then hated it the next. That's why I'm like super like, if I commit to something, I have to make sure I really, really like it, or I have a passion for it, so that I stick to it and like do the work towards that. Because if I choose something now and I end up hating it, then I wasted my time on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I like try out different things, and if I do choose something, make sure that I really like it.
That's a really good plan, because their exploratory studies is awesome. I went directly into business because I knew, but I know a bunch of the other girls have done it and they absolutely loved it. So who knows, maybe you're gonna like do something crazy. Like Grace decided to do theater. She was like a double major in theater, so the world is your oyster.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to jump into a couple of the questions that the fans have sent. David Kelchner, he wants to know, how are you dealing with the climate, how humid and hot it is?
Oh my gosh, it is so hot. I knew it was gonna be hot, but like it's so hot. Like it's hard to breathe sometimes. Like I'd go outside, like it looks like Canada when you look through the window. Like it just looks like sunny. Like Canada would be sunny, but then it'd be pretty cold when you get outside. But like I walk outside and I'm like, I gotta go change. Like I thought I could go out in a long sleeve. Like this is crazy. And then even like going for runs or like trying to work out outside, like I have to wait till it's dark out to even try or like attempt to like work out, or I'm gonna like faint right on the spot. Like it's pretty hot.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, and David also wants to know, what is your favorite Tim Hortons order?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'd say in terms of drinks, I definitely started liking vanilla iced coffee a lot. I was addicted to vanilla iced coffee in grade 12. But then I'd also say donuts. I love honey dip donuts and honey crullers. Those are the
Crullers are
best.
so good.
Yeah, I love them. And sour cream glazed donuts. So good. And I used to be addicted to the chicken noodle soup. I know that sounds so weird, but I love it. It's so good.
So good. Okay, for the Americans who don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's like Krispy Kreme and Starbucks had a love child, and then it was put on steroids. It's
and it's cheap.
Yes.
Cheap. I love it. Like I like it more than Starbucks.
Oh, me too. I like it more than anything. Like I would, if they brought one to campus, that would be the only place I would eat.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Okay, so Kaylin Rochester wants to know, who's your biggest inspiration in life?
Oh my God.
Deep ones.
Yeah, this one's hard. I'd say my brother.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm your inspiration. But like I'd say my brother, like he's always been like a role model to me. He's like 7 years older than me. Okay. But like he's always been the person, you know, when you like follow your older sibling, that's like me. So like when I was a kid, like my brother would go play sports. I'm like, oh, I want to play sports too. Or like we used to go to the YMCA and play a bunch of sports. And then he started taking basketball seriously. And I'm like, Mom, like I want to play basketball. Like, so like I'd say him. Like every time I'm like in trouble or like I need advice, I go to him about it. So yeah, he's definitely my number one inspiration.
Oh, that's so sweet. My sister's 5 years younger than me, and she would never say me.
Well, I mean, like, he would probably think the same thing. That's why I'm like, I hope he doesn't watch this, but probably will.
You're gonna like get a text message, and it's gonna be like, "Hey, so."
Oh, gosh, like he's probably gonna call me or like screen record that whole section and like post it and be like do something cheesy about it or something. I don't know.
Oh, yes, the older sibling thing. Yeah, I would definitely do that. So be ready.
Lord.
Okay, Maria Santor has another question. What's your go-to basketball move?
Oh, my coach would definitely be like the jab. I always jab. I don't know why. It's just muscle memory. You know what I mean? Like the jab to a dribble or like jab to a shot. Like it's just a jab. I know it's kind of boring, but like.
No, but like it works so well, especially like as a shooter. Like a quick jab opens up your shot so quickly. So I mean, that's a good one, especially if you're gonna be a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Okay, then Dwayne Lanier wants to know, why did you choose to come to the US as opposed to staying in Canada for school?
I'd say one, because Canada doesn't offer full scholarships for sports. Mm-hmm. So I'd say one, because of that. Two, because basketball in the United States, like I know like the basketball here, NCAA, helps you a lot with like getting pro offers and stuff like that. So like I've always had a dream of playing pro. So I wanted to come to the States to like open my options and like play against some of the best people in the world. So yeah.
I mean, it's worked for me and so many other people. So I think that is really the deciding factor for everybody. It's just like basketball is so huge in the US and the money. I mean, that's really, you know, you want to kind of keep it in Canada and continue to grow that. But at the end of the day, like, if you can get a full ride scholarship worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars, you want to do it.
And like, I know I love Canada so much. In the United States, like, it's so advertised, and like people always see it. Like, it's easy to find games, and like people are always looking at these games. So it's better to be on the stage and like where people are always looking. Like, even if you're not like the number one player, like if you're like one of the players that play on a really good team, you're still getting a look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that was a big thing for sure.
Definitely. We have another question from Molly. She wants to know, do you like Raleigh? Have you had a chance to explore it at all?
I mean, a little bit. I haven't gone downtown. Like, so far, it's been like super suburban. Like, it's just trees everywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I miss like downtown and like beautiful buildings and stuff and like people. Cause like right now where I am, there's no one here. Like, there are only like teens here. So like I would walk down and there'd just be no one. I'm just like, I need some human interaction.
Well, Raleigh is definitely smaller than Toronto, but it's a really cool city. Like, what's your favorite type of food?
I'd say probably sushi.
Okay, tons of awesome sushi places. City Market Sushi, amazing. Go there. I promise you. It's so good. It's a little bit more expensive than what you'll find like in a hole in the wall type place, but you would love it. It definitely has a vibe, and it's like right by downtown, so that's definitely a place you should check out.
I've been like trying to find like a bubble tea place because I miss bubble tea so much. I think I'm gonna find one after this actually.
Right underneath Stanhope is a bubble tea place.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And there's actually another one down Hillsborough, closer to like, it's a brand new place. It's by the bell tower. There's another good one there. So there are options. I know I was like struggling to find like good Asian food when I came, but like I definitely by the fourth year I was like, I knew all my favorite spots. So, and I'm sure all of the fans have places for you too.
Yeah, and I need to find like Ethiopian food. Like, I know that's not really common, but like there is.
Yeah, and they like eating with the hands and everything. Yeah. It's over kind of behind Brugger's on Avent Ferry. It's by the cinema. I can't remember its name, but there is one. It's actually really good. Like, I used to eat
You've been there?
So yes.
You like Ethiopian food?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. Like, I miss it so much. My dad keeps showing, like, every time I'm FaceTime with him, he'd be like, I know you missed this. And he's eating it. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, and so, you know, a lot of the team is really open to that type of stuff, especially Elisa. Like, if you say, hey, Elisa, we're going to Ethiopia, and she'll come with you. So you just gotta, it's right on Avon Ferry. It's kind of hidden, like, around the back by DPDO, but it's right there. It's really good.
Okay.
And I'm sure the fans will be able to, like, tweet at Rebecca where she should go and visit so she can experience Raleigh a little bit.
I don't even have Twitter. I know. I don't even have Twitter. But I have to, I know.
I'm just going to screenshot it and send it to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to make one. I'm going to make one.
Do it. And then we have our last question before we sign off, and it's from Michael Bullard, and he goes, this one has a little bit to do with me, so I'm a little flattered, but did having a history of Canadian players at NC State like factor into your decision of coming here?
For sure, 100%. I think it's just because like there was a lot of talk about like people like not liking international like players and stuff, and like being bullied or whatever, like, oh, you're from Canada, like, you know. But like when I realized that like NC State had like a history of Canadian players, like it wasn't just you, like there were other Canadian players too, I was like they treat Canadians well, so like might as well come here. So yeah.
And then he wanted to know what advice I have for you. And I mean, I think you're off to a really good start already, like based on the things that you've told me and we've talked about. And I would just say stay true to yourself, and it's going to get hard, and it's going to be challenges like injuries, playing time. There's just going to be things but just stay true to who you are as a basketball player and a person. You're going to make it out just fine.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. It has been so much fun getting to know you and kind of introducing you to everybody. So I know we're all super excited to see what comes next for you, but thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And before we sign off, our winner this week for prize packs is Maria Santor. You will be in touch with our media team soon and they'll get that to you. And then one last message. Our next episode is our last episode, and it breaks my heart to say that. And it has been such a pleasure doing this and being able to talk to everybody and kind of give you a look into the world of NC State women's basketball from the perspective that I always got to see and share how amazing these people have been. So next week will be our last one. There are no questions for next week because we have a surprise for you. This is going to be a really special episode. So make sure you tune in, and thank you again.